Hello everybody. So today is Thursday. The last video I made was for Monday, Tuesday. Today is Thursday, November 30th. And so I just wanted to give a little bit of an update on Flynn's health, talk about some helicopters, talk about a holiday parade, and then at the end of the video, if you are one of my yarn friends, I'm going to show you what I've been working on. Okay, so yesterday at approximately 8:30, 9 o'clock, the nurse came to me and said, when we give Flynn his transfusion, would you like me to wake you up at 5 a.m.? And I'm like, wait, what are you talking about? Because I had just done the morning rounds and they hadn't said anything at all about Flynn's platelets in American English. I'm sure they had said something about his levels decreasing, or I don't even know. I don't recall. So I'm like, what are you talking about? And so on this iPad, one of the things I can do, which I had not been doing since we moved into this new room on Monday, I'm going to show you, access Flynn's records. And so I come on over here and I go to my health and all of his test results show up. So I go to look at his platelets and holy cats, since Monday they had been dropping from 114 to 79 to 50 something or whatever. They were down to 23 on Thursday. I'm going to try to keep my head like this so I block the light back there. And so they were at 23 last night, and she said, yeah, at 4 a.m., we'll take his blood sample out of his pick, we'll send it down to the lab, and if his platelets, which we'll test first, come back less than 10, he's going to need a transfusion, a platelet transfusion. And so I said, well, I mean, yeah, you can wake me up, but I'll probably hear you, because I hear them every time they come in. It's just, I don't know. I don't know if it's just because we're in the hospital and it's my kid, whatever. So this morning, at 5 a.m., they came in with the platelets. And I was feeling a little emotional about that because I felt like it came out of nowhere. Now, partly it's my bad because I did not pay attention to the daily. I must have missed 2 or 3 days worth of checking the iPad. My days are starting to run together. I don't know. I still can't even believe that it's only Thursday of this week that we moved into this room. Anyway. So then they gave him a transfusion. It took 30 to 35 minutes. It was just a little bag, about that much. And when they're putting the platelets in, the nurse stays in the room. And every 15 minutes, she takes his blood pressure and his vitals just to make sure he's maintaining. And they all were in. Flynn slept through the whole thing. Bada bing, bada boom, we were done. So then I was waiting for rounds because I was going to ask them. I was like, hey, you guys, I really want to be like kept up on this stuff daily. Is this bad? Is this like something shocking that he needs these platelets and whatever? So I'm waiting. The doctor comes in for a round. It's actually the resident. I got to talk to her about it and she said it's perfectly normal, that she's sorry that I missed it in the morning meetings when they had talked or during the rounds, but it is perfectly normal for this stage, for those platelets to start to keep dropping, because that means his immune system, his blood making system is non-existent right now. And so Maddie's, the donor marrow, has not rooted in his system and start making their own. So he has run out of what was left of his, and he has not made any new ones. So it's normal, but I guess somehow I remember now talking with Dr. Broglie before this, that it could happen, that he could need transfusions. I don't know, I guess I felt like they would say, things are dropping, day 2, day 3, things are getting real low if it gets to this point, rather than the night before. Okay, so apparently, though, it is a very high chance that in the next day or two, he'll have another platelet transfusion and possibly what they call a red blood cell transfusion, which means just a regular blood transfusion. So there's that. I'm feeling a little better about it. I was a little shooken up this morning. Plus, I was worried about it over the night, and I wasn't sleeping well. And then I woke up at 5 a.m. to witness the transfusion. Also, in this room, right near the helicopter pad, we got helicopters coming in. 5 in the day. I do have a little video clip that I'll insert at the end. It's kind of cool. At first, I was feeling also a little emotional about the helicopter coming in 5 times in one day. And so I asked the nurse, and because I was thinking that's 5 kids in some kind of flight for life situation. But she said no. Sometimes they're also bringing in organs or blood or anything that they need. Like if Flynn had had a bone marrow donor from somewhere else, that's how the bone marrow would have come in. So those aren't all poor little children rushing into the pediatric hospital here. Some of it is life-saving. You know, they're getting a heart or whatever. So that did make me feel a little better, but 5 of them in one day, one of them being at 3 a.m. Okay, so that's the update on Flynn's health. His white blood count is still really low. His platelets are really low. His red blood cells are really low. That means his system is completely zeroed out, and we are now waiting for Maddie's to root in there, and she's like, we've got about a week of this. Which I can't even believe it's been 1 week. It's been 1 week, and we got a whole another week of this, and he'll probably get another transfusion or 2. They don't know exactly what kind, so it's going to happen. I'm going to pay better attention to the iPad every day. The other thing that was kind of cool today that I'll insert some pictures. I had some visitors come. My dad and stepmom came into the lobby downstairs because that's where only my visitors can come. We sat in the lobby and had some lunch, and apparently there was a holiday parade. One of Flynn's doctors, my favorite doctor, was in the front, and he was dressed up as a dreidel, Dr. Dave, the one that was in here the day of Flynn's transplant. When Flynn started having blood pressure issues, he was the one in here monitoring him. And he's the one that has the really good morning meetings where I feel like I really understand what's happening. So I'll insert a couple pictures, maybe a little video clip and some pictures of the holiday parade. First will be the helicopter, then will be the holiday parade stuff.
Happy holidays.
Who is that?
That's cute. I like that.
You should see the creativity.
Yeah, we gotta get some ranch, right?
Okay, so I don't really know how many of those at this point, how many I'm going to insert, but it was cute. To be fair, there was a lot more doctors and medical staff watching that holiday parade than kids. There were a few kids around. So my dad and stepmom brought Flynn some Culvers, which he really loved, and they brought some cookies, and they made some turkey croissant sandwiches for me, which was a really nice break from the cafeteria food. And then, of course, I came back upstairs. Now, other than that, Flynn's been doing great. I actually asked him if he knew he had a transfusion. He didn't even realize it. He'd slept through it. Okay, so that is all in regards to his health. So if that's what you were checking on and what's going on in the hospital, that's that. Now is the yarn stuff. I was looking through my camera to see when I started really, because making hats. My sister came this past Thanksgiving weekend, and I made some hats for her. And then she left, and I think at that point I had showed you guys that I had made, I made this one with her, and that's the one that had the lollipop love with a row of purple. I don't know if you can see that, or lavender, and this is, I love this yarn. And I had just started making this hat all lollipop love, knitted. So that's what I ended with on Monday. So then I took the rest of Lollipop Love and some Karen Simply Soft Light Blue, and I made this hat. This is the style hat that Bree had been making, the rows of half double crochet in the back loop, but then I decided to do this curly Q on top. Now, this style hat I first found the pattern for, called the Delaney hat. And when I first ever made this hat, I made it out of the Karen cake, my first ever rainbow Karen cake. And I posted a picture of it on Crochet Crowd with Mikey. And he reshared my post. I know, I nearly died. And he's like, Summer made this curly Q hat with some, with a Karen cake. Oh my gosh, did I ever think I had made it big back then? I didn't even have a YouTube channel. I was losing my mind. I remember just like screaming and showing everybody. But anyway, I haven't made a hat like this since then. And that was when the Karen cakes had just first come out. So it had to have been like 5 years ago. So this I made rotating rows of the Lollipop Love and Karen Simply Soft Light Blue with the curly Q's on top. So I made that hat. And these are all, now I'm completely out of Lollipop Love. I still have some of the lavender, and I have a little bit of the light blue left, but not enough to make a hat. And then I brought out some of my other favorite yarn, Surprise Stripe. I love that yarn. And this hat I made rotating Big Twist Gray every other row. Isn't that really kind of cute? I've made this hat Surprise Stripe before. I actually made one for my cousin in Alaska. I made two for my second graders, but just using the Surprise Stripe. I really like this look that the yarn has up here because it is like a pink and gray variegated. I don't have any more left. I've used it all up. But so this hat here is rotating. I do a brim of gray and then every other row. And I've gotten so good at rotating between the two colors that you can't even see where I switch between the two. Then I made this hat. This again is the Delaney hat. And this is the Surprise Stripe with gray. And you can see how that yarn really looks, but it just looks so cool like this. So I did these two hats. Then last night, which Wednesday, this whole hullabaloo started, I made this hat. Now I made this, I actually saved the ball bands this time, you guys. This is Impeccable Speckle, and it's in Hot Sunshine. Now I made a hat like this for my second graders that's in the bag to give them for Christmas out of only the orange. When I was at Michael's a while ago, I must have bought 2 or 3 of each skein. And I actually have an impeccable green. I want to say it was something clover or lucky clover or something. And I made one like that with just the green. And then I also mixed one just like I did with this orange, but with green, a solid green in the impeccable speckled. This one here is the Hot Sunshine and Carrot. Now this is a Premier Just Yarn worsted, and I got this at my Dollar Tree. I bought this a while at my Dollar Tree when they first got yarn, and I bought like a bunch of yellow, a bunch of this carrot, and some white. And the first hat I ever made with it was a little beanie I made for my newborn nephew that looked like a piece of candy corn. So that is what I did here. I again made the brim in carrot, and then every other row is either carrot or the Hot Sunshine. And I just really like, this is my new favorite thing to do for hats, is to rotate the variegated with a color that is solid, that obviously matches, okay? So I made this hat. And the last hat that I actually just finished before this is a Delaney hat, again with the leftover Hot Sunshine and Speckle. So out of these two skeins of yarn, which the Impeccable has 160 yards and the Premier has 131 yards, I made 2 hats. And I mean, I do have a little bit of the Premier left, not much. I do have a few scraps like this of some of the hats I've made since being here, and I am thinking about doing some kind of variegated scrap GAN. You know, something, maybe a little throw, maybe a pillow, or maybe even just a mixed up hat of all the leftover, because everything I've got here is worsted weight. So since Tuesday, I've made I've made 4 knitted hats and 3 crocheted hats. And you know what, you guys, I'm really loving it. For some reason right now, I'm finding my peace with making hats. I just feel like it's a good, quick project. I'm feeling like I've got a lot here. And you know what, if I'm stocking up for next year, great. Or if there's somebody in this hospital that can take donated hats, maybe I'll leave them here. I don't know. Because this year's Christmas hasn't even come up. And I mean, I guess I could save some for next year. So grand total though, with the 3 over there, I'm almost to 10 hats. And we've been here since November 7th. So I'm feeling pretty good about that. And I have that baby blanket. I can't decide if I'm gonna break out my Free Your Fade shawl and start knitting that, or if I'm going to do, I got that confetti. I've got that yarn. I just threw it on the floor and I'm not going to bend over to get it, okay? It's a Big Twist party yarn in confetti. I've got 2 of those. I also have this Big Twist gray still. I've got a purple sparkle. I've got that lavender. I love this yarn. And then I got a rainbow cape. So I could make some kind of a hat out of these 3 colors, or I could do one out of these 2 colors together. They don't really look that great. I might just make one straight rainbow hat. This yarn I love so much. This is Big Twist in the colorway Inclusivity. I can knit a hat with this, probably knit it a half. So this is all the worsted weight that I have left right now of just basic acrylic yarn. Beside those 2 confettis, I hate to bend down because I know that light is bright. Here we go. I've got 2 of these. Oh, they're also Big Twist. I'm really loving Big Twist right now, y'all. This stuff is so soft, this Big Twist party. Now, some of y'all did say that Joann's brought it back, and I tried to buy some on I tried to buy some on Cyber Monday, but they all were sold out. So, I mean, at some point, I'll be able to possibly get some of this Big Twist. When, I don't know. But I am going to try, but I do have 5 or so at home. When my sister went to my house on the day that Flynn was in seclusion or restriction or whatever it was, I don't remember, she got me this worsted weight. So I'm probably just gonna lay down, go to sleep. I'm super tired, and try to figure out what I want to make tomorrow, because I don't really have, I mean, I do have a lot of yarn here, but nothing right now is speaking to me to make another hat. So I might just give it a go on the Free Your Fade. I'm probably going to end this video now. This is probably long enough. And I feel like the nurse is going to come in any moment now. But that is about it. We've survived our first transfusion. We're day 4 in the new room. Feels like day 100. There's like 5 or 6 helicopters a day coming in here. And there was a holiday parade. All right, y'all. Thanks so much for watching. Thank you for caring. Thank you for prayers and good vibes and all that things, all the encouragement. Just keep praying that Maddie's cells take root inside of Flynn and he starts making some. That's where we are. We're a week of waiting right now. All right, thanks. Bye.